And so I was traveling. I had to come down from my vehicle.
The Labour Party chairman telling party faithfuls not to be caught off guard because APC members are already planning a rerun election. This is not a surprise. When you look at the past, what they have done since being declared winner, you will see that they have been making the moves. It also gives credence to the rumors that some people approached the judges and they refused, saying that the evidence was just too much, that they can't do anything. Although these are just rumors, but sometimes some of these rumors are revealed by people on the inside. Apart from rumors, many people in the know, lawyers, and many people that are aware of the massive evidence in front of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal judges, many of them believe that the verdict is heading towards an outright cancellation of the presidential election. Not that P2B and the Labour Party did not submit enough evidence to prove that they won the election, but let's take it one by one. This Presidential Election Petition Tribunal is not like any other seen in Nigeria. This time around, maybe because of the involvement of technology, the evidence is just too massive. The petitioners, Labour Party and PDP, all provided evidence of substantial non-compliance by INEC in the conduct of the presidential election. And when they wrote this in their petition, many people were expecting that INEC would have come back charging and shouting, no, we did the right thing, we did this, we did that. But when you look at the witness statement of the only witness that INEC called against the Labour Party, the witness agreed with everything, all the accusations, everything the Labour Party said about the election. The witness agreed 100%. So it's no longer an allegation. The person you are accused of doing something agreed with you 100%. So there's no doubt. The judges cannot be saying, this is hearsay, this is that, this is it, because the person you accused accepted your accusation in good faith. Let's see what the INEC witness said, because some people are saying missing the main issue. People are saying that INEC has the right to conduct the election any way they want, any type of collation that they choose. That one federal high court judgment before the election affirmed the right of INEC to conduct the election any way they want. That's not the main issue. Let's get back to what the INEC witness said in court. The INEC witness accepted that they did not upload the presidential election results. His reason being that there was an unexplained glitch that only affected presidential election results. That's by the side. This is already an acceptance that they did not follow the lay-down procedure and the Electoral Act, which says that results must be uploaded immediately after vote counting and at the polling unit. Granted that the law says that collation can still be done with other copies of the results, not just the one uploaded on IREF. But there's one problem here. The drafters of the electoral law made this provision because they know that it is an election. There might be instances in some polling units where after the voting, the polling officer might experience network failure or other problems like thugs coming to the polling unit to disrupt the process. Yes, these kind of problems can occur that can genuinely prevent the upload of presidential election results. So the law made provisions for that. What the law didn't envisage is that about 70% of the results will not be uploaded on IREF before collation. This is where the INEC witness failed completely, because he also accepted while he was being cross-examined by the PDP counsel that only 31% of the results were uploaded on the IREF at the time INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu was announcing the winner. So what does this show? It shows that a greater percentage, a whopping 70% of the results were not uploaded. So collation of 70% of the presidential election results did not follow the laid-down process of the law. This can only lead to one conclusion. This is not a matter of guesswork or how the judges will decide or this, that. This is in black and white. It can only lead to outright cancellation of the presidential election. When the law says upload results immediately after vote counting at the polling unit in order to protect the integrity of the will of the people, and you go ahead and fail to upload 70% of the results, it can only mean one thing. It is substantial violation of the provisions of the law. And that substantial violation can only lead to an outright cancellation of the election. Now, let's get back to why the judges at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal will place the cancellation over declaring a winner in the person of P2B or someone else. This is because the foundation is already faulty. When the petitioners have proved that the election was conducted in gross violations of the electoral law and INEC regulations, nothing good can come out of it because it's the foundation. You cannot say that candidate A did not win because of the gross violations by INEC, and on the other hand, you say that candidate B can win based on the same election. Not that P2B and the Labour Party didn't show that they won the election, that it was the gross violations of the electoral law and the non-upload of the result sheets at the polling unit that enabled INEC to collect rigged results in favor of APC. Yes, they submitted evidence to prove this. You can watch this video where we made the analysis. That notwithstanding, the fact that they proved the gross violations by INEC might make the judges to overlook whatever evidence they are presenting that proves that they won the election. And this might also give the respondents some arguments, especially when it gets to Supreme Court, that the petitioners can be claiming that the election was flawed, and on the other hand, still be claiming victory, that everyone should suffer the fate of a flawed election, which means that they will be in favor of a cancellation of the election so that everyone can participate. Why the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal judges will go for cancellation of the election is because of the Supreme Court ruling on Oyetola versus Adeleke. This judgment is the first judgment and the only precedent that we have now in Nigeria going by the new technology, BVAS and the electoral law. In that judgment, the Supreme Court specifically said that results must be uploaded on IREV before collation can take place. They also affirmed that the primary source of voter accreditation during collation is the BVAS machine. And looking at the massive overvoting from the BVAS report that INEC submitted, it means that the collation officers did not observe the rules during collation. So based on all this, the judges might just cancel the election outright. So except something else happens, Nigerians should be preparing for a fresh election. And if truly the judges will cancel the election, they will still decide on other pleas by the petitioners, the issue of qualification of Tinubu, the issue of double nomination of Shetima. So if they return in the negative, that means they will all participate in the new election. But if they are disqualified, that means all the other parties, including Labour Party and PDP, will contest in the new election. It's a pity that it has to go this way, because look at the billions that Nigeria wasted to conduct this election. And people wasted the money for nothing. They couldn't just follow due process. And they can't say they didn't follow due process for nothing. They must have done it out of interest or monetary influence from politicians. That's why anyone that eventually emerges the winner of the presidential election must make sure that all these INEC workers from top to bottom, including politicians who influence them, must be brought to book, because Nigeria cannot go through all this without people learning their lessons. People need to understand that the law must be upheld, that all actions have consequences. This will also deter people in the future from committing these kind of crimes. There's one more thing that people are genuinely worried about. The fact that people who didn't win an election are already in power, strategizing on how to win the next one in case the court cancels the election. Also the fact that all INEC commissioners are still in their positions. So there's no proof that the new election will be done differently. Even during the last election, the APC wanted to use vote buying to win the election. But because of the naira scarcity, they couldn't achieve much. Although they still sent SMS to people, some people were giving cards to scratch and all that, but it wasn't as effective as they wanted. That's why they changed strategy and involved INEC to prevent the upload of presidential election results. So with them being in power, they have the opportunity to perfect the flaws of the last election. This time around, who knows what will happen? That's why people might not come out in their numbers like in February. A lot of people lost their lives in the last election. So what's the guarantee that the right thing will be done this time around, with all the officials of INEC still maintaining their positions? Let's just hope that the ultimate solution will be found. Thanks for watching.
Any form of mistake, bring it to the right thing so that we do it once and for all. Because if it could make any mistake, all what we have been doing since the morning.